good friend Rachel West.
That's right. Our foraging friend is here, and she has literally brought a bounty full of your pickings. What do you have today?
Elderberry. So I have had dozens of questions just over the last week of, do you want my elderberry? Do you want to come help me with my elderberry?
People are just giving it away.
I'm harvesting elderberry. What do I do with it?
Listen, this thing is like full and heavy because she has it full of those beautiful berries, and they look so fake because they are so beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, look at the size of these. So I'm very, very fortunate. I've got two different examples here today. So I want to show you what my I have to pull them off the top. I had, see these tiny little bitty berries? They're a lot smaller.
Yeah, they are
We can hold them side by side.
Yeah, right.
But they're the size of a pea compared to one of those champagne grapes.
Are they
These are wild, so these grow up and down my dirt road.
Okay.
Now, granted, it's been raining lately, so they're not so dusty. But my friends at Urban Roots Farm, Farmer Kevin called me. I'm dropping berries everywhere. So literally full, guys.
Yes.
He called me and he said, hey, our berries are just all over. And so, I make my elderberry good stuff. And so he was like, I will
If you haven't tried
barter.
that, you really need to try that. She has it for sale in stores around town.
Yeah. And so, and actually, quite a few of them are out right now, so working on that.
Because it's very popular, apparently.
So Kevin called and he said, hey, my berry bushes are loaded, and so we'll trade for a product, or let's figure this out. And so these giant ones are from Urban Roots Farm. And so that's how my basket, I already had half a basket earlier ready to come into town and decided to go ahead and load it up full.
Yeah, so what is the nutrition on this?
Okay, super high in vitamin C. They are a natural adaptogen, so science has proven them to shorten the duration if you have a cold or flu. They're obviously their color, like blueberries, they're really high in anthocyanins, and so those are natural antioxidants, so relieving stress. Oxidative stuff, like if we're just literally like an old car sitting out in the sun, and these are going to help with these are going to be your natural sunblock for your cells.
Now they sell like product in stores that have this in it, like capsules or whatever. How does that compare, like a capsule compared to like doing it yourself, making it from actual berries?
Well, making it from yourself, it's free.
Oh,
so,
that's true.
but a capsule, I don't know, they would be able to get the concentrate down. I know that a lot of times it's a juiced concentrate. So with elderberry, I do want to mention why we're talking edibility. The berries themselves, the ripe berries are edible. You don't want to eat the seeds. The stem, like pectin, has something called lectin in it, which binds to protein and carbohydrate in our system, and so it can make you very nauseous. So you do not want to take one of these stems like this and just throw it in and simmer it and try to make a syrup out of it. So what I do is I'm going to take these and
stay away from.
Correct. So seed, stem, and actually leaves. So the only part of the plant that you actually want are these ripe berries. So I don't know if you guys can see the little mess that they're making just as they fall off, but if I grab them,
highly concentrated in
they
color.
will leak all over your hand. They're really hard to pull off, and so the easiest way to process them is to throw these in a freezer bag into the freezer. And then we did this at my house, I don't know, a couple years ago together. But if you have a cookie dry mat, you can rake them up and down on it. But once they're frozen, they literally will fall off the stem for you. And you can remove those one or two little random green berries, the purple berries that are not ripe yet.
You can use those.
You can take those and put them aside. And then once you've got your berries, then that's when you can bring them to a simmer, and then you're just going to want to pour them through a sieve or a food mill to remove the seed at the very end. As long as you're not crushing the seed, like through a juicer or something that would shred it, you shouldn't run into that. Correct. But another cool thing is if you guys are cutting down your branches at the end of the season, a lot of farmers will have all of this upper growth and then they cut it down straight down to the ground. And the reason that they do that is the elderberries will still fruit and flower next year off of these older stems, but it'll be at different times. And so a farmer usually wants, or a lot of somebody who's growing berries, wants their berries to produce at the exact same time. So they're not out there every other week getting this bunch and this bunch and this other.
Have some ripe all the time, but no, I see what you're saying.
I like having them ripe all the time, but and so if you are cutting your stems though, and let me just take the leaves off of this one to make it easy to see for you. And so again, we're not going to eat the leaves of the elderberry or the stems, but once I remove these, I can break this and show you. So right here, right there, you have an elderberry plant. So if you have a stem like this that has the leaf nodes, top and bottom, you're going to stick it into the ground where you're going to bury these bottom leaf nodes. And then it'll send out roots here and here and leaves up this next year. And so those will take probably 3 years before they'll produce berries. You'll probably get flowers after 2 years. But
I mean,
this is a whole
free.
entire
There you
plant.
go.
And so right here, I've got one plant. And so the leaf node, don't let the size fool you, because as long as you've got two leaf nodes.
One to bury, one
So
to
this
have
is
on top.
another plant, this is another plant. So I literally have 6 different elderberry plants right here that I could just stick in the soil right
Wow.
now.
Yeah.
And then it'll overwinter in the soil. And then the second that it's thawed out for spring, you're going to have fresh roots and you're going to have leaves up the top. And so it's so easy to just propagate an entire row from one single plant that
Oh, wow.
everybody should have this amount of elderberries growing in their backyard. I mean, why look at a fence when you could look at berry bushes that you
Right.
do all your winter prep and then you can cut it right back down to the
Oh,
ground.
wow, that's incredible.
So-
Okay, do you have any events coming up that we need to know about?
I'm doing a VIP dinner for the homesteading, but that's sold out.
Okay.
I've got a few tickets still left. I think there's 6 for the foraging convention.
That's it, 6
But
of them.
Amanda and I we're going to do a prep for winter wellness where we're going to do elderberry kits and bath bombs and things like that at the yurts. So
Okay.
just be watching and we will post those.
Yeah, remind us of your website so that we can keep in contact.
eatingtheozarks.com.
Yeah, Rachel, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I just am so amazed all the time. These are gorgeous. I'm telling you, these look so incredibly fake and they feel so cool. Feel like rubber. All right, well, Ozarks Live will be right back, so stay with us.